Howdy heretics, today we're going to talk about who gets all the jewelry after Armageddon, because I grew up in a doomsday religion called Jehovah Witnesses, and I used to believe that everyone that's not a Jehovah Witness should die in Armageddon, and also all Jehovah Witnesses that are not good enough should die in Armageddon. And I always thought, there's a goat pushing my tripod here. I always thought I was not good enough, but I went out preaching anyway because I thought I could save others. And also my darling parents used to tell me that my toys were possessed by demons and they would rape me in my sleep unless I was a good Jehovah Witness. That's a good motivation, if anything. Anyway, so we go from door to door. Hello. It's a goat-like personality. Anyway, we went from door to door and we take a lot of illegal notes about people. It used to be illegal back then too, because we took notes about people's ethnicity. And since World War II, that's been a big no-no in Europe. You can't make a list of Jewish people, for instance. For obvious reasons, that became illegal in 1946. Well, we did it anyway. And one thing I wanted to make a list of it. When I was a kid, I was trying to mesmerize was all the people that had gold teeth. Because my mother wanted me, I had to promise that after Armageddon, when all the worldly dead people, in my city there were like 2 or 3 families of Jehovah Witnesses and 2,500 people living, so there's going to be a lot of dead bodies. And I had to promise my mother that as soon as Armageddon was done, I should run out and pick all the gold thieves. So that's a beautiful picture for a child too. And I was a smart kid, so I came up with the idea that, I gotta... this is weird, but let's pretend it's funny. As a child, I was thinking a lot about this. And I thought you could take the head from a worldly skeleton and place it between the legs, because this way what's easy to see what dead body you had been frisking for jewelry. So normal witnesses, they say when they go out in field service that this is my house after Armageddon, because Watchtower, it's a multi-level marketing printing company. But instead of paying people, they tell them that you will survive Armageddon if you push our product. And we don't sell the product, we place it in exchange for money. We don't sell the literature, we place it in exchange for money. So anyway, most witnesses will say, this is going to be my house after Armageddon. That's a common thing. And I actually thought, because it's kind of an institutionalized thing that Jehovah's Witnesses say that. So I thought as a kid that the angels were listening and they also was taking notes. So they're going to destroy all the houses except the one that we picked out for ourselves. So I was thinking, and I come from a part of Sweden. We haven't been war in Sweden for the last 400 years. So we have a lot of old cool buildings. So I picked out a castle and said I could have that after Armageddon, and my parents went ballistic. You're a greedy, selfish and egoistic child. Why will you have a castle? I said, well, it's going to be empty. Why can't I take the castle? Everyone's taking a mansion, so why couldn't I take a castle? It was a nice castle. And he said, what if the society needs it? So I was a selfish and evil child picking out too big house, because the best house go to the society. Anyway, my mother always wanted me to go out and pick jewelry, and I remember one time she came home from field service and we met such a terrible woman, a terrible worldly person that was so rude and terrible, but they had this beautiful jewelry. And my mother said, this is a true story, my mother said, I just wanted to snatch her jewelry right here and right now. She was so rude. Why should I wait till after Armageddon? But I have to wait. And then another sister that she was walking in field service said, well, you can't have that jewelry because, the Anderson family has picked out that house after Armageddon. And my mother thought that was so unfair. If they're getting the house, why should they get the jewelry? And my father was an elder and he didn't want to answer that because it's never been in the literature. Does the person who gets the house also get the jewelry? Because the person gets the house get to get rid of the bodies, have to throw them out and the birds will eat them. Thank you, Jehovah. Anyway, So my mother had me promised that after Armageddon I would run to that house and steal the jewelry from the dead worldly person before the Anderson family took their inheritance. Thank you, governing body, for all those lovely childhood memories. I also used to memorize which families that had guinea pigs, because I always liked animals. And I was thinking, who should take care of them after Armageddon, you know? So my father said, you know, the cats and the dogs, I don't have to think about them because they would eat the worldly people. And they could drink water from the toilet. But I thought, what about those that had guinea pigs? So as a kid, I used to memorize everyone that had guinea pigs and gold teeth. Gold teeth go to my mother, and the guinea pigs I would let out after Armageddon so they wouldn't starve to death. Yeah. Happy childhood memories. Thank you, Watchtower Incorporated. It's not a doomsday religion. By the way, if you ask Jehovah Witnesses, are you a doomsday religion? They say, no. We believe in paradise after the wicked ones are removed. And yes, who's the wicked one? Well, they try to avoid the question and they will say, well, it's not up to us to decide, but that's why we would like to offer you a Bible study so you can see for yourself what God requires. And if you ask for a Bible study, you will find out that God requires you to be a Jehovah Witness, because most Christians believe that salvation comes from God through Christ. Jehovah Witnesses believe that salvation comes from God through Christ, through Watchtower, through the governing body. So it's much more specific. So you can't reject the governing body. Then you're a mentally diseased apostate like me, with a goat-like personality. So, no, that's happy memories. So, I don't remember the address, sorry Mom. But, well, if the governing body is right, then they will kill me and you can have my house after Armageddon. So, everyone's happy. So, this is a wonderful day. I can just show you. This is the view from where I live. It's my own paradise. And it might be the only paradise we get. So, it's a wonderful day. Me and my goats, we're having fun. So, I hope you like this video. Like and subscribe. It will make me happy. And see you in paradise.